right, you guys. There we go. I got one person watching, but I don't know who that is. Who is that? Let's get center here. There we go. We're updated. All right. So for my one viewer who is remaining anonymous, which most likely means is one of my students, let's do a sound check. All right. So mic check. Can you guys hear me? Let me send out a tweet. That we are live now. All right. There's somebody else in the house. Jinhan. Hey man, how you doing? Good. All right, cool. Can you hear me, Jinhan? Okay. All right, perfect. All right, man. Fingers crossed that this goes well, man. First time using Streaming Labs, so but you can do some cool things with it, so hopefully it goes well. Perfect. How's your week been so far? All right, I'm gonna put up something on Facebook too. Oh, absolutely, man. I'm doing a little dance now because on Friday was the last day of school with students, so I'm out now for the summer. So I'm happy as can be. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna post in the Facebook group that we're live because this is a new time. We normally, of course, are at 9, but there was a few folks that asked could we go at 8. So I'm going to. Where are you? There you are, Beyond Badlands. All right. There it is. If not, if it's just you and I, we can talk about the boys because I've been reading up on that too. It looks really interesting, actually. Where did my picture go? Kamikaze, how you doing, man? I haven't seen the latest trailer for it. I don't know why that I don't know Kamikaze. I don't know why that thing's up. The Logan picture, that was something I did with a friend of mine like years ago. Of course, when Logan came out. Oh, cool. All right. All right, I'm gonna check that out. Give me a second. I'm still where'd that image go? Live, live, live. There it is. All right, hold on. right, there we go. I gotta check this out, man. You know what? Let me see something. Why don't I have any volume?
Lose hundreds of people each year.
Oh, sorry guys. I'm watching the trailer from The Boys. All right, let me come back to it. Man, that thing looks good. Looks really good, and that whole idea, man, is really interesting. That whole kind of flip, it flips everything on its head with superheroes. So that looks really good. Amazon is doing big things. Right, Kamikaze. All right, guys. So we got two folks on here. There's a third person on here, which I suspect is probably one of my students who's found the channel that doesn't want to identify themselves. So, hey, Kamikaze, are you watching Warrior? I hope so. I hope we get Lord of the Rings in 2020. I think that's what they're shooting for. Okay. Yeah, Good Omen looks good. Good. That looks good too, actually. Yeah, there's not a whole bunch of the movies I'm super excited about. Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, cool. All right, man. Listen, let's just jump in, you guys. It's only three of us, so we can kind of talk about what we want to talk about. I did have some things on tab. I actually want to talk to Warrior too. I want to talk a little bit about Warrior. So, um, I'm curious to know what you guys think about Warrior now. How you're feeling about Warrior after that the first season is over. Yeah, I hope Spider-Man is better than Spider-Man: Homecoming because I wasn't a big fan of that actually. I was kind of bored with Spider-Man: Homecoming. And Spider-Man is my guy, but Yeah. Yeah, it was good, man. That first season was phenomenal with Warrior. I'm telling you, the storytelling with Warrior is is top notch, and then some of the stuff they do with the editing is really cool. I think some people mentioned that before, like how depending on who we see them talking to, we'll either hear Cantonese or we'll either hear English. I like how they do a lot of that editing. Is really cool. Someone just jumped on. Who was that? Valor, how you doing? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is your notification bell on? I don't know what's up with YouTube, man. YouTube is deciding they're gonna show you what they want to show you. That's why you always hear me screaming notification bells because they don't tell people what's going on. I don't know why they do that. So make sure your notification bell is on, and then you should be good to go. Oh, oh, that's interesting. That comparison between kung fu. Yeah, yeah, man. Warrior. I'm telling you, like I've seen the whole episode or the whole season at least twice, man, and even still watching it, like the show is super impressive with just the storytelling and everything that goes on with it. And even I like kind of how they wrapped it up too. Some people didn't like the way that it ended with Assam going back to the Hop way, but I feel like he's different now. I feel like he's turned the corner. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You know what? Um, yeah, I don't know why you guys weren't getting notification bells. All right, hold on. I just saw that link, Jinhan. Hold on. Let me open it in a different window if I can. Oh, I did see this. Yeah, the video about what's coming. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I think Spider Man's going to be good, man. I mean, I like Spider Man because I feel like I'm looking forward to it, should I say, because I feel like that's really going to be the movie that kind of opens up the multiverse for Marvel. So we might see a lot more stuff. It kind of got opened up in Endgame, but Spider Man is really going to open it up. So now they can do whatever they want to do. They can bring in whoever they want to bring in. So I feel like that movie is really going to be the movie that will take Marvel in just such a broad direction in terms of being able to do a whole bunch of different stuff and not have people, ask questions like, how did you do that? So, all right, got a few folks in here. Man, I don't know. You know what it is? I'll do a short video before um, before we go live. But I don't know why the notification bells are not going off. Did anybody get a notification bell about the live stream? Just curious. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people might be thinking it's at 9. They shouldn't because I talked about it being an 8 during the last time, but they might be thinking it's at 9. Man, I don't know what's up with that. That's YouTube is doing that. Now you can't even have people use their notification bell. They are controlling what they want people subscribed to people's channels to see, which I think is terrible. So Oh, let me ask you guys. So, do you think Lee Young is going to turn on Mei Ling? Do you see that coming? Because I'm kind of feeling that way. I'm kind of feeling like I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna stay tight with her. Curious to know what you guys think about that. Let's see if I can send it out on. Just post a quick message on Instagram too. Um, where's my email? Download. Man, that image didn't even come up. So you think only Kamikaze? You're saying if the opportunity comes up? Yeah, I'm not really sure what I think about him. What I think about his motives. Yeah, that should be coming soon. So I'm interested to see how they do that too with Wu Warriors. Now I feel like any show that comes after Into the Badlands and Warrior has a lot to live up to. So yeah, I want to see how they execute that on Netflix. Yeah, I feel like a lot of things though with Warrior are going to turn when we get into second season too. Um, I think that a lot of things that we think are not likely to happen will happen. Like I definitely see Lee Young kind of flipping. I wouldn't even be surprised if if he has some stuff going on right now that Mei Ling doesn't know about. I also want to see how Mei Ling deals with this power struggle with her between her and the what's the name of the group that I think it's Justin Nguyen is the head of. I can't remember the name. The Feng Hai. So I want to see how she navigates all of that too, because it's looking like she's in trouble. She's a smart girl, but I don't know how she's going to deal with all of that. Yeah, yeah, we definitely do, man. I mean, I don't know what it is about that. I don't know why that doesn't happen. And that's why I'm glad that we have shows like Warrior and like we've had Into the Badlands and Woo Warriors because we need more of that. I feel like all those shows are wins because we need to see more of that, even that Hong Kong style action that we've gotten in Into the Badlands. We need all of that on TV, much more than what we just kind of are getting. I don't want to call it garden variety, but with a lot of the action that we've seen a lot before. So oh yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a season two of Warrior. Yeah, I think the show's actually doing pretty good ratings wise, and it looks like some things that are coming up will be will be interesting. Like I wonder what they're going to do with the two black guys that came into the bar. Like I wonder if they're going to introduce that conflict with all that's going on with the conflicts with the folks, the Asians and the Irish and the Americans. I wonder if they're going to bring them into that dynamic too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there because I don't think I've seen. I may have missed it. I don't know if I saw any black folks in the show before, but I thought, oh man, this is interesting. So let's see what happens with that. Yeah, 21 Jump Street Kamikaze was like, if you remember that, that just goes to show like you're dating yourself because that was a long, long time ago. That was because he was on the show with I think when Johnny Depp was on that show. That was a long time ago. It looks like it's gonna be Kamikaze. You're right. No, Valar. Yeah, nothing comes close to ITB, man. Not when you're talking about the fight choreo. I don't even know what to say about that. There's nothing on TV. It's even remotely close to that. And it's crazy because I'm finishing up the ranking video now, and when I look at some of the fight choreography, I'm just like, man, this is so nuts how we're not getting this anymore. It's just, oh man, it's crazy. And then there are so many fight scenes that as I was going through and doing the rankings that I totally forgot about that were amazing in that show. Man, it just makes you sad, man. It just makes you sad. I would say my favorite part was that whole scene with Assam and Lee Young fighting. It was that whole, I mean, everything, not just the fight, but the whole setup, like how it looked aesthetically, the drama that was infused in that whole scene. I love that whole scene because I feel like there was a lot you learned there. Like you got the conflict between those two, but then you got Bill and Lee introduced into something that's really kind of a secret amongst the Chinese at that time, but they get introduced into that. You have all the major players basically are at that fight, so that scene is one that I really loved. I got your kamikaze. So I'm curious, based off of the question that Jen Han just asked, what was your favorite episode of the first season of Warrior? I'm just curious. Let me see what you guys think about that. Then I'll share with you my favorite episode. Yeah, I agree with that, Jen Han. So again, you guys, I'm just wondering what your favorite episode was from season one of Warrior. I'm just gonna check again. I'm gonna send out another notice, let people know we're live. People might not know. Let me see something. Why that might be the problem. Actually, Kamikaze is showing it's showing the old image is the one being live. That's not what we're talking about. That's ridiculous. That's why nobody's here. Probably. I don't think I can switch that out now. I need to change that. Yep, I was thinking the same thing, Kamikaze. Probably the cowboy episode. Man, that episode was so good. I mean, there were so many Western throwbacks in that it was just awesome. Plus, I like the connection in that episode between Assam and Young June. I feel like that's when they really kind of connected. So someone else just jumped in. I don't know who that was or who that is. Yeah, so we all kind of agree. Yeah, I agree, man. I feel like that episode was pretty defining for Young June as well, and you got to see a little bit behind the curtain, so to speak, because you didn't see the Young June that we always see in Chinatown and San Francisco. You saw another part of him, so I feel like that was another layer we learned about with this character, which was really good. That's one thing I love about the show, man. Like, I will tell you, the characters in Warrior are amazing, man. They're so multi-layered and they're so interesting. And each one of them kind of, I feel like you could do an episode on each one of them. I felt that way really about ITB too. You could do it's an episode on every character and Into the Badlands with just that character alone. And I think you could do the same thing with Warrior. Yeah, it was actually. It did kind of remind you of Bloodsport. I think probably the most shocking moment for me was Mei Ling at the tournament when Lee Young looked at her like, "Do you want me to kill him?" And she basically said yes. Like that was I was surprised. I was like, "Wow, she's I mean, she's all in at this point." The fact that she would do that to her brother, yeah, that threw me for a loop because I thought that she I didn't think she was going to go there, but she did. Anybody else? I'm curious about that. I don't know if you guys saw Jinhan's question, but he was asking what was the most unexpected moment from season one of Warrior. Just curious to know what you guys think about that. Like, what was your shocking moment? Yeah, yeah, that was one too. Definitely. Yeah, man, that show the tension there is something else, man. I mean, the way they tell that story is absolutely amazing. Hey, I'm curious, you guys. Wait a minute. Yeah, that was a shocker too. Bill becoming the new Damon. That that was a shock. That was a shocker. Yeah, I agree with that too, Kamikaze. I mean, you can kind of see that coming. I feel like she was working her way up to replace him anyway, her husband. So I'm not really surprised that she killed him. Also, I wanted to ask you guys. This is a little bit of a different of a switch of tracks, change of topic. But is anybody planning on getting Disney Plus? I'm just curious. Ah, it's a general. That's what that was. No. Anybody else? Everybody know? Anybody yes? I'm definitely going to get it, especially now that I think they're cutting the price of it. It's going to be like $6, I think. Wow, a number of you guys say no. All right. Yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I wanted to talk to you guys about because you guys have what did Jahan say? Probably if the budget allows. Yeah, I think it's only like $6. I think they purposefully cut it in half of what Netflix is charging to get more people to watch it. But what I think is interesting about Disney Plus, and you guys have heard me say before that I think Disney Plus is actually eventually going to knock Netflix off of the top of the rung. Because of the tie-ins that they have and all the properties that they have, they own everything. They own Marvel. They own, of course, all of their own material. They own all the Star Wars stuff. They own everything. And what Feige said was, and I had a let me see if I still had that article. Let me see if I can put it up. There we go. Yeah. So now he's saying that the what we see on Disney Plus is going to be going to have a great influence over what we see in the MCU. If they can dominate the market with what we see on streaming, if that's really good, and that's also going to affect the movies that we see, I think they're going to be almost unstoppable. I think if they make the tie-in between those two, I think that it's going to be. I don't know. I just see them knocking Netflix off the block. Also, what I've read with Netflix, I don't know how true this is, but I heard Netflix is actually running out of money too. So they're kind of spending more than they have, is from is what I understand. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think I read it somewhere. So yeah, I hear you, Kamikaze. I mean, everybody, a lot of streaming platforms, everybody's trying to get part of that dollar because everybody is turning to streaming. A lot of folks are, and people. It's funny. People are mad about the what's it? I don't know what the name of that platform is, the DC streaming platform, because they're pulling a lot of properties from there. What I suspect is that they will pull all of them, and then Warner Brothers will probably start its own streaming service, which I think actually is in the works. So everybody, man, everybody's trying to get viewership on their platforms. That's why everybody has all of these big shows coming out on the different platforms. You know, it'll be interesting if we do see another Winter Soldier movie, but I don't think so. I think they're probably going to fade Bucky into the background. That's my thought on that. I don't know. That's one of my favorite Marvel movies. Captain America: Winter Soldier is one of my favorite. It's really good. Yeah, they are. I think it's funny because I feel like The Witcher is really their big play. It's going to be their big push to try and stave off Amazon. Of course, you guys know there's doing Lord of the Rings, and I don't know who is going to pick up the Dune series, but somebody's going to pick that up as well. So they're really trying to keep the wolves at bay, so to speak. But I think a lot of things are going to change. Like I feel like we're seeing almost a revolution right in front of our faces in terms of what we're getting with streaming content and then what we see on the big screen. And now you see like a lot of big stars, a lot of major A-list stars that are doing movies on streaming platforms. And I think we're going to see more of that as things really kind of start to change. The way that our entertainment is brought to us. I also think you're going to see a lot more connections that we've seen before with like what Disney Plus is doing with a lot of Marvel's movies on the streaming platform influencing what we see in the theaters as well. I think we're going to see more of that also. Oh, I did want to talk a little bit about the DC EU too. How many of you guys saw Aquaman? I'm just curious. If you saw it, what did you think about it? Oh, maybe. Oh, that's right. I did actually hear something about that, Kamikaze. The redhead is hot. I forgot her name. Yeah, she's a good-looking girl. Okay, so most of you guys did see Aquaman. Um, the reason I ask you that is because Aquaman and Wonder Woman are probably the two most successful DC movies that we've seen. And from what I understand with Batman, that's her name, Amber Heard. And from what I understand with Batman, I heard it's going to be a standalone movie. The one they're doing with Pattinson is going to be a standalone movie, which I think is the biggest mistake that DC can make. I think that if DC is going to make any movie, every character needs to be within the DCEU because they need to build the DCEU out. And honestly, if you keep making, I mean, Batman movies, to me anyway, we've seen tons of Batman movies. We've seen tons of Superman movies. You don't make a standalone movie. Every character has to be included in the DCEU, so it gives you more flexibility with what you can bring at a later date. I think all standalone movies in the DC universe are a mistake. That's just my take on that. I was just want to share that with you guys because I'm curious to know, number one, what you think about Batman. I know we talked a little bit about it, and if you guys are excited about it, and if you knew that it was supposed to be a standalone movie. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. They should have left Black Manta. They kind of tacked him on. They should have just left the conflict between he and his and I can't remember, and Ocean Master. I've seen a couple of episodes of the 100. I think I'm just like slightly past when they actually go down to the planet. But I've heard the 100 is good. I know a lot of people are watching. I know a lot of people are reading the books too. Yeah, you're right. Patterson does get a lot of flack. I mean, I gave him flack too when I heard about it. I just don't see him as Batman.
I
But
can't find a network connection.
Oh, that's my phone. I don't know why that's doing that. I just don't see him as Batman. But that said, man, I have seen him in some stuff that made me think, you know what, he might be all right as Batman. We will see. So I kind of wish they had kept Affleck too, because I like the older Batman. So yeah, that's true. I know you might be right, Kamikaze. It might not be a standalone. That's just what I've heard. But I don't even know, like, why even say that. You need to be building up the DCEU. That's what I think. I wish that Tremaine was on, because I know he's a big DC guy, and he made a comment in one of the videos that we did, and he was saying that DC is not trying to be Marvel, and nor should it be. And I actually agree with that. But I do think that if you are going to make superhero movies, then it needs to be part of a broader universe so that you can do more. And people want to see that. People want to see heroes in the DCEU. So I just think you should not make any standalone movies. See, I haven't seen Fear of the Walking Dead, General. Don't really watch The Walking Dead too much. What do you know what her name is? What's the girl's name? Yeah, because I don't know what her name is. I don't really know the cast in the 100 to tell you the truth. We've only seen it up to a point. Yeah, that's a good point, Kamikaze. Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, cool, General. Yeah, you're right. He's like he's not an alpha, and maybe that's the thing that bothers me about him. He doesn't seem like he has the temperament or kind of the the personality of a Batman. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that seeing an Affleck versus Deathstroke movie either. Yep, yep. I said the same thing, Jinhan, because the man is super skinny. Like, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if he's gonna hit the weights. I don't know, get the weight gainer 3,000 out or something. Because, yeah, I don't know. Put him in the suit. Yeah, I really don't know how that's working. It might be great though, man. Everybody, people not giving it much of a shake, including myself. Maybe it'll be awesome. I gotta, you know what? Where did that go? I gotta figure out how to. Oh, that's her name, Alicia Clark. Okay, let me copy that. All right, Alicia Clark. Okay. Let me see if I can pull her up real quick. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh really? So Jen Han said he's already started bulking up, been in the gym, but he's not really feeling Batman, um, or Patterson being Batman. Yeah, it's hard, man. I don't know. I don't know. We will see. Oh, guys, I also wanted to ask you guys about The Witcher. I know I raved about it the last time. Anybody reading the books, or does anybody know any more about it? Because I'm telling you, man, that show, boy, I can't wait to see what Netflix does with that. Because man, if they pull that show off well, whew, The Witcher could be could be really really good. So no, I have in general. And I'm not a huge fan of anime too. I like some of it. Like I love One Punch Man, and somebody just turned me on to One Punch Man. I didn't even really know much about it until I saw it, and I was like, man, this is good. Sword Art Online. Never heard of that. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, for what I understand, Jinhan, they're done with season one, so it's ready to go. I mean, I've made my rant about. I don't know what Netflix will do, but I mean, I'm sure they'll probably put the whole season on there. But I feel like they should go episode to episode. But honestly, does Netflix have any show that goes episode to episode? Isn't everything on Netflix bingeable? I don't know that they have anything that goes episode by episode, week by week. I don't think I've ever seen anything on there like that. Oh no, I've never heard of that. That does sound interesting though. I heard My Hero Academia is really good too. I have a coworker that loves that show. I need to check that out. What was I gonna say? I was gonna ask you guys something else there. Oh, guys, before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you this: what are the similarities that you see between Into the Badlands and Warrior? I'm just curious. Oh, that's good. Now, so that's good news, Kamikaze. I hope they do that for The Witcher. I would think everybody should be trying to imitate what Game of Thrones did, because that was successful. Man, I gotta check that out too. Let me copy that. You know what, General? What I would do, man, is because you should be on summer break now. I guess it should be. Yeah, no, you guys should have went on summer break in May, right? So if you did, man, I would just take a day. It's only well, and you wouldn't watch all of them because you watched some of them. It sounds like, but it's only nine. I think nine or 10 episodes. They're about 40 minutes, 45 maybe. Oh, oh, I see, General. Then I take that back. I guess maybe your the way they do it, your semesters or however they break it up is different. You might not get, I guess, that traditional break. True. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, General. Just I would. I mean, you can get through it in a day, and they're easy to get through. Like they're easy to binge. You won't. This not like a slog. You'll be like, you'll be ready to go to the next episode. Yeah, I think all those are good, Jinhan. But Swamp Thing is done, right? This is it. There is no season two. And I'm sure you heard the uproar about that. They announced that there was going to be no season two after the first episode of season one, which is crazy. But that's it for Swamp Thing. So it'll be interesting to see if people even keep watching it now. Yeah, I heard Cobra Kai is really good. I've seen a few episodes of it, but I haven't finished it. So watching so many different things, it's hard to catch it all. But I heard it's really good. A lot of people said that. No, no, no. You're good, Cobra. A lot of people didn't, man. A lot of people didn't get the notification bell, so it's all good. I think what I'm gonna do next week is do what I've done before, which is put out like a short video a little bit before. And also, it doesn't help that the thumbnail for this video is a video I did with a friend of mine, Anthony, maybe like 2.5 years ago. So that needs to change. But yeah, you know what I heard about Swamp Thing? I don't know if this is true or not, but I know Charlie from Emergency Awesome. You guys might know him. He's a really big YouTube channel, and he covers like comic booky type stuff. And he was saying what happened there was it was a money issue. Apparently, I guess states either they make a certain amount of money or they pay a certain amount of money for folks to film in their states, and somehow, some way, it's something like this anyway. They were not able to pay what they said they were going to pay, or something like that, and because of that, the show was canceled. So apparently, in terms of shows being financed, their location has something to do with, I guess, how it's paid for. I'm not sure the whole ins and outs of that, but that's what I heard. That's why Swamp Thing got canceled, because whoever was supposed to pay a certain portion was not able to pay it, and they were like, "Well, then that's it. We're canceling the show." So, hey, D Money, it's funny you guys are jumping on at the regular time. We actually started at 8, but a lot of people didn't get the notification bell, so I've actually seen. I think I've seen this, Jinhan. Let me see if I can move it over there. Nope, I haven't heard anything new about the Badlands Cobra. I mean, I don't know, Jen Hine. You feel free to jump in with this as well. Nope, haven't heard anything new. I mean, I know that there's still a campaign to try and save the show, but I don't know anything in terms of anyone picking it up or anything like that. I was also looking to see if they were going to carry it on in any other fashions. I know that there have been some talk about maybe continuing the show in different mediums. I know that most people want the live action, but nope, haven't heard anything new. I don't know if anyone else in the community's heard anything new about what's going on with Into the Badlands and whether or not it's going to be picked up by someone else. I don't know. No, I still haven't seen it. You know what? Actually, while you're on here, General, let me go to. I'm gonna rent it right now because it should be out. It should be out for rent. And it's The Boy Who Would Be King. Okay. There it is. All right. The one that comes out on Thursday, Bombard. I am going to see that because I'm interested to see how that film goes because some of you guys saw the versus videos we did. The first one was Sonny against Assam. I actually was thinking about doing one with Anna against John Wick. So there's like a lot of different ones I was thinking about doing in my head. So I am planning on checking that out. I know that comes out. That opens on Thursday. Oh, so that's some new news about Swamp Thing. I didn't realize that, Cobra. Why can't I find this on YouTube? It should be here by now. There we go. All right, General. So I just rented it, so I'll check it out. The Boy Who Would Be King. So next time we talk about I should have seen it. Really, Jinhan? What'd you say? You said no, I've never even heard of that. Bombard Fury Kick. Um, nope. But Karate Lady, haven't heard of that. Is that on Netflix? I agree with you, Jen Hine. It was crazy. Why would you hire a horror director if you didn't like that direction that he was going to take Swamp Things? It's crazy. Oh, Bombard, did I see that? That looks really familiar. Fury. Huh. All right, let me put that in the search box so I can look at that later. Now I gotta check that out. It's so crazy, Bumber, because like I'm looking now after doing that first versus series, I'm thinking about like, man, all these people we could put against each other. So you guys know that the next one we're gonna do is, for those of you guys who are Game of Thrones fans, we're gonna put Arya against Tilda and see who comes out on top. And for those of you guys who were thinking automatically that Tilda would win that, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's like that's a good versus right there. Oh, I wait a minute. I have seen that movie. Is that the movie Bumper with Brad Pitt and the other folks? And it's all about this one tank unit. I think I have seen that movie. Yeah, Tilda's my girl too, but I don't know. We'll see how she does against Arya. I feel like they're pretty. I don't know. They're pretty closely matched. I don't think that Tilda would just roll over Arya. We'll see, Valor. We will see. That's the next versus coming up. We'll do that one next week. We'll do one a week. So, because it's funny when you think about it, and Jen Han made up a good point when I did the first verses with Assam against Sunny. He asked the question, well, it depends on what Sunny you're talking about. Like if you're talking about a Sunny that can do all the things that people in the Badlands do, then that's something different because Assam can't do those things. But I wasn't really talking about that type of Sunny. I literally was talking about like hand-to-hand combat Sunny versus hand-to-hand combat Assam without all of the kind of extras that the different shows might give each fighter. That's really the way I was looking at it. But I don't know. So if you took Arya and gave her all the skills that she learned from Game of Thrones, all the kind of stealth stuff and all that kind of stuff, she would not be a pushover. Now, Tilda, we've seen Tilda do some of that stuff too. Like we've seen her kind of do some of that disappearing stuff when she's fighting Moon. So if you took their skill sets and pit them together, I don't think that Tilda would just easily run over Arya. It'd be a good matchup. Oh, I didn't even think about that aspect of it, Cobra. We might have to strip her of that skill when they go one on one, because that's a little unfair. Unless we give Tilda the Dark Gift. Maybe equalize it a little bit. Oh, man. That's another good one. Who would we put Quinn against? Man, who would we put Quinn against? I gotta write that one down. Man, I don't know. You know what another good one is? I'm looking forward to doing this one as well. Somebody put it in the comments. I can't remember who. I don't think it was anybody here. How many of you guys have seen The Accountant with Ben Affleck? Anybody seen that? The reason I ask is someone was saying that we should do one where we put Ben Affleck as the accountant against John Wick and see how that goes. That's a good matchup right there too. That's a good matchup. Trying to think, who would I now I'm really thinking about it. Yeah, I know she never had the gift, but I mean, I'm trying to help her out, man. I know she never had the gift, but if you give that other advantage, the advantage of luck to Arya, then you got to give Tilda something. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those John Wick versus Jason Bourne. I was trying to think of something different. I've seen I haven't seen the one for the accountant. I'd like to check that one out. I've seen John Wick versus the Punisher. That's a good one too. Even though I feel like the Punisher comes out on top there, but yeah, who would we put though? Who would we put Quinn against? That's just as crazy as he is. Thanos. I'm just kidding. That's not even fair. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I don't even know who we would put him against. How do you think that Quinn would do against Pilgrim if Pilgrim did not have the gift? I'm trying to think who was crazy. It was really. I mean, I know plenty of crazy characters, but none of them have the fighting skill that Quinn has. I don't know. That's a good one, though. Yeah, that's a good one. Quinn versus a Hound. That's not a bad one either. Actually, you know what? Quinn versus Jamie Lannister, I think, would be a good one before Jamie lost his hand. That's a good one, Cobra. Without gadgets and Dark Gift. Yeah, we're doing that one. I got it. Black Widow versus the Widow. Quinn can't beat the Mountain. Valar, wait, are we talking about Mountain pre or post? I don't even know what to call the post Mountain. Pre or post Dead Mountain? Because obviously the one after he was killed, you know, he's getting stuff stuck in his head and he's still fighting. So the Undead Mountain. You know, Quinn probably could pull that off. I think he could probably pull that off. If he was Undead Mountain, I got Quinn coming out on top of that. Someone else asked me, I don't know, how many of you guys have seen One Punch Man? If you haven't, it's phenomenal. You got to check it out on Hulu. That way you don't have to read the what do they call them? The subtitles. Anybody seen One Punch Man? No, he can't fight post the Zombie Mountain. I agree. He'd never win that. You're right about that, Cobra. Quinn could not win that. So nobody. So General, you haven't seen One Punch Man. If you've not seen One Punch Man, it's an anime. Go to Hulu if you don't have it, sign up for like the 7-day trial or something like that, and just check out a few episodes if you can't binge it. Maybe you're busy. General. I know you're busy. But man, One Punch Man is phenomenal. That anime is so good. And somebody asked me to put him against someone, but I don't even know who I could put One Punch Man against. Goku? Because One Punch Man they call him One Punch Man for a reason. All it takes is one punch. Oh, okay. So you're familiar with him then, Jinhan. Oh, I got Quinn coming out on top with that Cobra. Quinn against Aaron Greyjoy. No question. I had Quinn. To me, that's an easy win for Quinn. Because I feel like one of the advantages that almost all the fighters in the Badlands have, that's why I really put, one of the reasons why I put Sunny ahead of Assam, is that they're so versatile in almost everything that they use to fight with. Even their hand-to-hand stuff is so versatile. And then when you talk about the weapons, they're versatile too. They just have, too many different ways to defeat you. And that just makes them very hard to beat. Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast, Valor. Like it's hilarious too. It's one of the reasons why One Punch Man is so good. Man, the one episode, I won't spoil it for you guys in case you're gonna check it out. But the one episode where it looked like the guy was giving him a run for his money was hilarious, and you'll know what I'm talking about when when you see it. When you get to the episode and you find out what actually happened there, it's hilarious. I'm like, wow. So. What does that say? Hold on. Quinn's opponent hold Henry and Quinn will beat. Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. I would have loved to have seen Quinn go against Pilgrim. Although I don't think that Quinn would have a chance, really. I mean, Pilgrim would have a chance against Quinn. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. If Pilgrim didn't have the gift. I don't know. But I bet you if Quinn was around, he would have gone against Pilgrim. He's just nutty enough to do it. Quinn versus Magnus. I think Quinn can beat Magnus. That's my thought about that. I mean, I don't. There's not a lot of people in the Badlands that can take Quinn. Like, Quinn's a beast. I mean, we saw him hold his own pretty well against two of the best, which are the Widow and Sunny. So, yeah, that would be cool, D Money. That would be cool to see that. That's hilarious, General. Quinn versus... yeah, Quinn versus Harley Quinn. We're definitely doing that one. I'm not sure who's going to come out on top, though. Oh, boy. Man, that's a good question, too, Valor. Who wins the fight between Quinn and Waldo if Waldo had his legs? Sheesh. I put that back to you guys. Who wins that fight, Quinn or Waldo, if Waldo had his legs? Oh, man, that's a hard one. Darkseid versus One Punch Man. General, you say Waldo wins that fight. Wow, Cobra says Waldo, too. I don't know, man. I think Cobra. I think oh, dang! I just realized we got two Cobras on there. All right, so sorry, Kamikaze. I think that Dark Side. I think One Punch Man takes Dark Side. That's my thought. Cause man, don't I think I'm telling you, Quinn is a beast. Like I wouldn't underestimate him. Plus, I think Quinn is so crafty too. He would definitely be formidable. There's no question about that. Yeah, you know what? Kamikaze, he might. That dude, man. Oh, how about this? Who would you consider a better strategist? The Widow or Mei Ling from Warrior? I'm just curious. Who would you consider a better strategist? The Widow or Mei Ling from Warrior? You think the Widow General? Yeah, I mean, I think Quinn is formidable for sure. Yeah, Jinhan, like that's a good question because I feel like they both are pretty calculating, and they're both pretty ruthless, actually. So Kamikaze, you're saying Mei Ling, she has no compassion, will go further than the Widow. Oh, maybe the Widow has empathy even to, yeah, yeah. It's a hard one. That's a hard one. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I almost want to say the Widow because even though it's 3 seasons to one, but from what I've seen with her, she has she deals with adversity. She's kind of dealt with the hand that's been given her almost at every turn. Even if she's planned for something and things have not gone according to plan, she always has a backup. She kind of is very adaptive to her situation. So I almost want to say that she probably would be ahead of Mei Ling. Yeah, I saw Men in Black International. I didn't think it was a disaster though. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. I did like the chemistry between Thompson and Hemsworth. It was a disaster. That's true, Jen Han. She didn't see how the war was affecting her. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to tell, Jahan, who would come out on top. You're right. They both made mistakes. They both kind of didn't see what was coming. So that's it's a tough one. Yeah, you might be right about that, Kamikaze. The widow might not go as far as Mei Ling when it comes to hurting people. Yeah, they sure did turn on her in the season finale, Jinhan. You're right about that. It'll be interesting to see what she does because she's she's in a bit of trouble. Right. The Widow's backup plan: kill everyone. All right, guys. You know what? I'm gonna shut it down. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I'm not sure what happened this time with the stream, but I appreciate you guys. You guys who came. Sorry about the notification bells. I got to figure out what to do with that. There, I definitely need to change the thumbnail because I would not be surprised if some people came and was like, "Are they talking about a movie that happened like 3 years ago?" So, um, so I definitely have to change that. But we'll be if this time works for you guys. I did 9 o'clock just because I thought it would be better. But there are some folks here where 8 o'clock works, so we can keep it 8 o'clock. That's fine with me if that works for everybody. So can I get a yes or no from the folks that we have here? 8 o'clock work. All right, cool. So 8 o'clock. And then also everybody make sure that you hit your notification bells just in case if you haven't. I'm not sure what happened, but I will make sure that next week we won't have the same the same thumbnail issue. And next week I'll be sending out stuff closer to the time as well just for reminders. So all right, everybody. I appreciate it as always. Thanks, you guys are awesome as always. Always as a reminder, guys, if you have not, make sure that you check out the Patreon page, patreon.com, Darkside Reviews, and that's where if you guys are able to support, it's great. $2 a month is the minimum that I'm asking for, especially now that I'm part time. So I'm looking for everything. Actually, so I appreciate that, guys. Go over there and check that out, and I will see you guys. On the next stream, and look for the review for Anna probably on Friday because I am going to check that out on Thursday because I'm interested to see how that goes. I wonder if it's going to be kind of like a female John Wick. We'll see. All right, guys. Peace.